easiest PDA to see. But how then would you utilize it going through the week and being able to take trades off this area or off this bias that you've now gained from using the weekly fair value gap? So if I break it down, this week we understood we've closed here, and if we're going to the and we've marked up this weekly fair value gap. So I've come to the market. See, I've come to the market on Sunday, and I'm looking at this fair value gap. When I go to the daily, I've now seen this buy side liquidity. I'm saying to myself, I'm gonna wait. I'm going to wait for price to tap into this weekly fair value gap, and let's see how price reacts. Now, you could sell into that fair value gap, but that's where it gets a bit complicated and a bit like, if you've got a bias, sometimes you should, if you're not too skilled, you should only try, like if you've got a long bias, you only want to try to be taking longs. But in this scenario, there was opportunity to go short into this fair value gap. So let's fast forward it. As you can see, like I'm saying, on the Monday there was opportunity, and this is another thing, weekly profile. So like if you ICT, if you watch ICT, you should know about weekly profiles, where if you're bullish, if you're bullish, you would want to see price on the Monday or the Tuesday fall below the weekly open. So for me now, this is a sign that, whoa, we've pushed below the weekly open, so we're in a big discount, and we're heading towards this PD area. So for me now, we're still not hit it yet though. So we're going to Tuesday. We've hit it. We've hit the PD area, and we swept liquidity into this PD area, these lows. Yeah. We've then had a market structure. Well, let's see. We've then had a market structure shift on the 1 hour, and now, because so on Tuesday, you should understand to yourself, you've hit this weekly PD area. I am bullish for this week. Where's the targets? Let's get on the daily again. Well, I can see the smallest fair value gap on the daily. It's very small, but still a target. Or you could even target the weekly open. Let's go to the 4 hour. Got fair value gap there being tapped. So yeah, we would say we would target this daily fair value gap. Okay, so now we've gone from the weekly. I've shown how to go from the weekly to the daily for marking up that fair value gap. Also got this buy side liquidity, and now we're in the hourly, because I feel like some people, for me as well, it was like, how is going from the week gonna help me be able to trade intraday? Do you know what I mean? It was hard for sometimes just to even to understand how to use it in the live markets. So anyway, so again, as we're going, so we're on the 1 hour now. We've had a shift and we've had a sweep. There's multiple ways that you could have actually taken part of this, being involved in this trade. Now, one being turtle soup here, but you haven't got comfort. But it's high probability, but it's not, because the simple fact is you haven't got you didn't have a shift in structure. You would have had to be very confident with your weekly PD area to take this long here. So majority of people probably wouldn't have took that trade. Maybe ICT, so majority of people not taking that trade. Cool. Alright, as price is moving on, we've created a fair value gap displacement. Price then, what time is it? 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So now we're within this hourly fair value gap, and you're still bullish. So you could either enter at 12 o'clock, but for me, I like to see, so for me now, where is 12 o'clock here. I like to see a sweep of some sort of low into a fair value, into the fair value gap or within the fair value gap. So as you can see, 12 o'clock It's here. We're not bothered about any price action until 12. 12 comes, I'm not entering. Why? Because I haven't had a sweep. Price carries on, 1 o'clock comes, we sweep this 15-minute low. We're still within the fair value gap, we've not violated it. So now you can either enter here, stop just below it, target these highs for 1 to 3, or you hold your position to the daily or to the weekly open. Now majority of the time, I don't think, if you was to have 2 positions then you could hold, but ideally it would be better to get out here. So we've now broken down the shift, the weekly PD array, sweep of liquidity, the shift in price, the 1 hour fair value gap, the 15-minute sweep with time and price, sweeping this liquidity here, the entry and the target. So price moves on. Look, it nearly comes and gets you up. Price moves on, hitting the target buy side. What time is it? It is 6 o'clock, 6:15. So now, like I said, depending on if you are able to hold the position and you just want to get in and just hold it, in this week it did actually play out, if you would have held your position. So if we, in fact, yeah, let me keep on the one to show the entries. So as this day plays out, Wednesday 8 o'clock we hit the daily fair value gap. Now, would you still be bullish? That's the question. For me, I remember this week I was a bit wary, because when these type of PD arrays get hit, there's always going to be a reaction. But what we can see is this fair value gap. So let's see what happens. Get a reaction. What time is it? 9 o'clock, 11 o'clock. We're not bothered about 11 o'clock. We tap into the 1 o'clock. We tap into the fair value gap at 1 o'clock, and we're at the weekly open. So we're still in a discount. And remember the overall draw on liquidity is this buy side liquidity at top, these highs. So again, what do I like to see? Fair value gap, sweep of the low, of a low, could either be a 1 hour or the 15-minute, and entry, and then enter. Stop below the fair value gap, below this low, well, this candle here, and target, well, it depends. Are you willing to hold to this buy side? If you're willing to hold to this buy side, you are getting some good gains. If not, you would be gaining a 1 to 2. And I think the price actually didn't even go in favor this thing. I think it stopped you. Oh no, it did. So yeah, but it took a day. So Wednesday, getting at 1. Set and forget. I believe set and forget is the best type of trading. For me, I enter my position and I walk away. Set alerts at like a 1 to 3, but if my target's a 1 to 5, I will then look to see how price is reacting, because when I try to manage my trade, I end up closing winning positions, and it's just annoying. So yeah, for me, set and forget is the better, but for some people they like to manage, they got the discipline to manage the trade, but for me at this moment in time, I'm not able to do that. So we've got Wednesday. So remember, we're still bullish. We're utilizing this weekly PD array. This is all coming from this weekly PD array, and this draw on price, draw on liquidity up here. Cool. So we've had a long on Wednesday. Now we're on Thursday. 8 o'clock is here, or 7 is here. Can we see any sort of entry right now? No. Why not? Because we've not had a sweep. It's 7 o'clock. There's nothing going on. Now, what can we see? We see a wick slightly above, so that's a shift. I actually took this trade live as well. This is a shift in price, and we created a fair value gap. Now, some people, that's enough for them just to enter off that. Me personally, I like to see a 15-minute or minimum 15-minute sweep of a low into it. So as we, what time is that? 8:15. So we sweep, create this low, price sweeps this low here. I'm ready to enter now, because I've got all my all my signal to get in the market. Why? We've got a market structure shift, we've got a 1 hour fair value gap, and we've got a sweep of a 15-minute low into my fair value gap, and I'm bullish overall. So now, where's the target? Well, this buy side, and obviously, let's see what happens. So what day is it? On Thursday still, price is just consolidating, and eventually it hits the target. Sure it does. Yeah, Friday. So yeah. Is there anything for us to enter off? What time is it? 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock today. I don't believe it was. Unless you're willing to take a trade at 6 and 7. Unless you're willing to enter here, then you could have got involved in this. But for me, it's not something I would have entered unless you will then utilize the 15 minutes. So we got a sweep, a shift, fair value gap, entry. But I mean, I understand it, but it doesn't mean that I should take it. But at the same time as well, if you profited off this one, and then clearly you're in profit in this one, it's kind of, or I feel like it would be okay to take this one if you made this much profit. Again, this week is this example that I'm using is the most perfect week. Like, I don't think you will get weeks like this a lot. Like, when I seen it, I was like, yo, this is crazy. Like, and to be honest, at the time, I didn't trade GG. So when I seen this, I didn't take it, because I was like, it's breaking my rules. Then I seen this, but the daily fair value gap, so I was a bit wary about that. But yeah, like, but now GJ is on my toolbox. Like, I will not let GJ move like this again and not be involved. So yeah, hopefully I've taught you something or made you understand something a bit better. So yeah, let's just break it down quickly again. We use the weekly on Sunday, look for our weekly fair value gaps. We then went into the daily, realized that we've tapped off a weekly fair value gap. We then gone into the 1 hour, 1H time frame. Sorry, let me go back. So we've tapped our weekly fair value gap. We've then marked out our draw on liquidity, which is this high and this high. We don't just blindly enter off this fair value gap. We then wait for some sort of confirmation. For me, the 1 hour, could be the 4 hour, for you the 15 minute, but for me it's the 1 hour. We then a sign of displacement is a fair value gap and a market structure shift. Some people are saying now, like, you don't have to wait for the shift. I like the shift, so I wait for the market structure shift. Everyone, you build your trading to what fits you and suits you best. But anyway, so yeah, and then basically when we've got that shift and we've seen that first day just push higher, we're still in a discount as well. So you need to have narrative, like the narrative of this. It was just everything was just 10-10 on this week. Everything was 10-10. This is the most perfect week you will ever probably. One of the most perfect weeks I've seen anyway. Yeah. The narrative was crazy. We had the weekly open, push down into a weekly PDOA. Then we had a 1 hour shift with a fair value gap, pushed higher. We're still in discount, pushed higher. Come back to a weekly open price with a shift, 1 hour fair value gap, and push higher. And we've got the best draw on price here. This last week's daily high. Like, it can't get. I don't think price could get any better. But yeah, hopefully I've not taught, but I've shown a bit more. Hopefully I've gave you a bit more understanding on how to use the weekly fair value gaps and the daily fair value gaps to then help you get a bias and utilize them with either your 1 hour, your 15-minute time frame. Like I said, I'm new to this, so I'm not really too good at speaking, and as you can probably tell when I'm woman and arguing. But we've got to start from somewhere. So yeah, this is what I'm just gonna try to get better at. May do some more videos, may do some live trading as well to actually show like this stuff works. Apart from that, stay blessed.